Welcome. My name is Mary Beth. I teach yoga at the Hatha Yoga class here every Tuesday at 6:30. This is the first time I'm giving a Zoom yoga class, so welcome, and I'm excited to be back. And I hope to see everybody in person. So some people that are going to be on the call will have taken classes with me, and others haven't. So just so that you know my style, I give a lot of instructions on how to breathe and how to move in and out of asanas. And I'll also demonstrate modifications to the poses as much as I can. If anything comes up and you're able, they have a question during class, you can always, if you can use the chat, it should pop up. If there's any issues with, what was I going to say? If there's any issues or concerns that you want to voice to Amy Zick, she can, you can email her or reach out to her and give any kind of feedback and what would be more helpful or useful during these Zoom classes. So let's just start by lying down on the mat. And usually with my classes, I usually just give a little bit of instruction, some demo, and then I let you move with your own breath. But for these Zoom classes, I'm going to do a lot more with you, just in case people need to want to check in on how to do it. So we're going to start by lying on our backs. I should have warned you. So again, if you need to adjust the camera, I'll try to go slow. We're going to lie on our backs in Supta Tadasana. So just think of yourselves in doing mountain pose, standing upright, but we're going to lie on our backs. And our legs are straight, feet are flexed, and our arms are by the sides, palms of the hands facing in. And we're going to start with movement with breath. Inhale, lifting arms up and overhead, arms and fingertips reaching behind you. Exhale, bringing the arms back by your sides. We'll do that a couple more times, just like that. Inhaling. And then exhale, bringing arms by your sides. We're going to try to have and continue to breathe through class. Inhale. And have the breath be the same length on the inhale and the exhale. One more full round. Inhaling. And exhaling, arms by the sides. Now we're going to add on to this. Inhaling, both arms up overhead, fingertips behind you. This time, exhale, hug the right knee into the chest, just loosely. Then inhale, extend that right leg towards the ceiling, arms towards the back of the room. And then exhale, lowering down to start. Other side. Inhaling, both arms overhead. Exhale, hug left knee into chest. Inhale, extend leg towards ceiling, arms towards the back of the room. And then exhale, coming back to start. So that's one full round, once on the right side and then once on the left. So we'll continue on. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hugging the right knee into chest. Inhale, extending the right leg towards ceiling, arms towards the back of the room. And then exhale, slowly lowering arms and legs back down. Going right into inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hug left knee into chest. Inhale, left leg to ceiling, arms behind. And exhale, lowering back to to start. Let's do 2 more rounds. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, right knee into chest. Inhale, right leg straightens, arms towards the back of the room. Exhale, coming back to start. Left side inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hug left knee into chest. Inhale, left leg towards ceiling, arms towards the back of the room. Exhale, lowering, back to start. So this is your last full round. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hugging knee into chest. Inhale, leg straightens, arms towards the back of the room. Exhale, lowering to start. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hug left knee into chest. Inhale, extend leg towards ceiling, arms towards the back of the room. And exhale, lowering back to start. And let's just pause here and notice. And we're now going to do hip circles, first with the right leg and then with the left leg. So now just bend that right knee in, and you can take your right hand onto your knee or shin. You don't have to, but you can. And then begin to move the right knee around in a circle. Just keep going in one direction. And do whatever feels good for you here. And now switching directions. So it can be fast or slow. Large circles, small circles, whatever works for you tonight. And then coming back to center, interlacing your fingers and grabbing onto your right shin just below the knee. And begin to pull that right knee towards the back of the room. And then begin to pull that right knee, right thigh towards the floor. So just brushing along the right side of the body. Remembering to breathe. And then releasing back down. And we'll just pause here, noticing the difference between the right leg and the left leg, or right hip and left hip. Now we'll try the left leg, so bend the left leg in. You can use your left hand and just begin to make circles to help guide that thigh or knee around. And then let's switch directions. And then coming back to center and grabbing onto that left shin. And again, pulling the left knee towards the back of the room. And then along the left side of the body, moving it towards the floor. Continuing to breathe. And then releasing back down. And then bend your knees, hug your knees into the chest, and then roll off to one side. And then we're going to come onto hands and knees. I'm going to try to fix this because I think
I might have the wrong view. We'll see if this works. No, I meant the other one. Sorry, I just want to, oh, I think we're good. At least they'll be able to see me too. So we're gonna come onto all fours here, just to start. We call this hands and knees. So the hips are directly over the knees, shins are parallel, and then hands are shoulder width apart, so directly beneath the shoulders, and then an inch or two in front. And then your fingers can be either facing directly in front of you, or you can slightly dial your hands outward. Depends on your body. And we're just going to start with some cat-cow poses. Inhale, belly drops down, tailbone lifts, head lifts up. Then exhale, rounding the back, tailbone drops down, head drops down, cat pose. And then continue this movement with your breath. On your inhale, arching into cow. And then exhaling, rounding into cat. Taking whatever length and duration of breath works for you. Just try to keep the inhales and exhales the same. And next time we come to all fours, just stay right there. I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to add on to that. So we're going to first inhale, slight cow, and then exhale, coming into extended child's pose. And then come back, inhaling all fours, mild cow pose, exhaling, coming back. And so just do this a few more times with your own breath, getting used to the movement. And next time you come to all fours, just pause right there. I'm going to add on to this. So you might want to just watch this round. So we're going to do the same move, the inhale, cow, slight cow, exhale, child. A couple times, twice. And then we're going to do a new movement. Inhale, coming onto the knees and shins, both arms overhead, palms facing inward. And then exhale, bringing hands behind, gently resting at the base of the spine. As hips goes towards heels, head begins to lower. And then one more time, exactly the same. Inhale, lifting up. And then exhaling, hips to heels, hands behind as you lower your head. And then to transition, you're going to walk your hands back to all fours. So I'm going to talk you through the first couple of times. Inhale, exhale, extended child's pose. Inhaling, mild cat or cow. Exhaling, extended child's pose. And this time, inhale, lifting up. Torso, arms, fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, arms behind, base of the spine, hips towards heels, head lowers down. One more time, inhaling, lifting up, long spine. And exhaling again, hips towards heels, hands behind, head lowers down. And then bring hands to walk your hands forward, back to all fours. And we'll do that again. I see the little photobomb. Inhaling cow. Exhaling exhaling, extended child's. Inhaling, mild cow. Exhale, extended child's pose. Then inhaling, lifting up, arms, fingertips reaching towards the sky, long spine. Exhaling, hips towards heels, head lowers down, hands to the base of spine. One more time. Inhaling, lift. And exhaling, lowering back down. Walking your hands forward, coming to all fours. Again, inhaling cow. Exhaling, extended child's. Inhaling cow. Exhaling, extended child's. Then inhale, lifting up, coming onto knees and shins, arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhaling, hips to heels, head lowers down. One more time, inhale, lifting up. And then exhaling, hips towards heels, head lowers down. And then walking back to all fours. And just do one more round on your own so that I can talk you through it. Inhaling cow. Exhaling, extended child's. Inhaling cow. Exhale, extended child's. This time inhaling, lifting up, knees and shins, arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhaling, lower hips down, head towards floor. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. And then exhaling, lowering back down. And we're just gonna lay or take a moment to rest in child's pose. If you have a block or something that you want to support your head, feel free to do that. You don't have to have your arms straight. They can just be gentle, whatever's comfortable lying by your side. And this will take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly come back up. And we're going to come to stand. So if you need to adjust your screen, feel free to do that. I'm going to check the time. Okay. So just standing, you want your feet in Tadasana, so just sitting bones width apart, an inch or two. Your torso is long, spine is long. You want to have natural curvatures to the lower back, but you don't want to be leaning forward or back. You want to have a straight spine. Natural curvatures to the lower back. Suggestion of tailbone reaching towards the floor, arms by the side. Inhale, bringing arms out and overhead, arms, fingertips towards the ceiling, spine is long. Then exhale, lowering right hand to the side as you bend. Inhale, lifting back up, one long line, and exhale, bending to the other side. And we'll just continue this movement with your own breath. As you inhale, coming back to center, one long spine. And as you exhale, bend to one side. If it feels good for you and you really want to make a pause,
At the end of an inhale or exhale, take another breath. Feel free to do that. I will have you hold for a little bit longer at the end. And next time you bend to the right, we're just going to hold. So if you want to, for a few breaths, so if you want to gently release a little and then see if you can go a little deeper, feel free to do that. Feeling that stretch along the left side of the torso. And lifting back up to center. Again, inhale, lengthen through spine. Try to keep that lengthening. Exhaling as you bend to the left. Just a couple of breaths here. And then inhale, lifting back up. And then exhaling, arms by the sides. We're going to do an Uttanasana or forward fold, and I'm just going to go perpendicular so that you can kind of see. If in Uttanasana you like to have a block or something to support you, feel free to grab one. If not, you can just support yourself by placing the hands on the shins or the thighs. So we'll move into this. You can either bring arms out to the side, or if you prefer movement up and down, you can do that. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhaling, arms by the sides. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, lift. Long spine. Exhaling, lower. 1 more time, inhaling, lift. And exhaling, lower. This time we're going to add a fold in. So inhaling, arms overhead. And this time, exhale, slight bend to the knees, straight back. Exhaling as you fold. Hands can rest on the block or the mat. Have a nice, generous bend to the knee. And then inhale, lift to a flat back. So you can let your hands rest on your thighs or your shins or your knees so that your spine can be parallel to the floor. Top of the head reaching in front, tailbone reaching behind. And exhale, bending the knees a little more as you fold. And this time, inhale, lifting your torso up, straight back. Straighten your legs, arms, fingers overhead. Exhaling, arms by the sides. So we'll go through that more smoothly. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, slight bend to the knees as you fold. Inhale, lift to a flat back, letting your hands rest on your shins or thighs for support. Exhale, folding back down. Then inhale, lifting your torso up as you begin to straighten your legs, arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhaling, arms by the sides. So just do that 3 more times with your own breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting your torso up, arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhaling, arms by the sides. Just 2 more rounds like that. Inhaling. And exhaling, folding. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling.
folding back down, Uttanasana. Inhaling, lifting torso up, arms, fingertips toward the ceiling. Exhaling, arms by the side. And this next time, when we come into the forward fold, we're going to hold it for a few breaths. So inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, nice, generous knee bend as you fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding back down. And just take a few breaths here. So again, you can put your hands on a block, on the mat, or even on the shin. So grabbing your ankles. Just a couple breaths here, letting that torso and head hang down. Inhale, lifting to a flat back. Exhale, folding back down. Inhale, lifting your torso up. Arms, fingertips towards the ceiling. And exhale, lowering arms by the side. Okay, and just notice right now, I'm just going to check on the time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come into Warrior 2. And I'm going to show you a little bit about first getting into Warrior 2 with a proper stance. So right now I'm just going to demonstrate facing you, and then I'm going to do it on the mat. So taking your feet sitting bones width apart, you'll step your left leg back, and notice that I'm not trying to line up the heels. I'm trying to honor the distance between my thighs to step that left leg back. So there's we call it railroad tracks. And Warrior 2 is what we're planning to do. So right now I've got my hips towards the front of the room. That's not what I want. I want my hips facing more towards the side. So you might have a longer stance. Some of the key alignment features to keep it safe is you want to make sure that when you bend your right knee, that knee stays over that ankle. It doesn't go inward or outward or something. So you want to have it directly over that ankle in alignment so that knee's pointing the same direction as the toes. So notice I've been facing front. I'm going to face torso towards the side. Hips are more towards the side than the front. So long stance, and that back leg, I've got the foot at an angle, so a slight angle. So it's not facing that way. Ouch, that hurts. And it's not facing too far front. It's somewhere in between. So feel free to make whatever adjustments work for you and your body. And if you don't step back correctly or if something doesn't feel right, just take another moment and step back and try to get that alignment. So I'm going to now show that on the mat, but I wanted you to be able to see what it looks like up front. So on a mat, again, same thing, feet sitting bone width apart, and now I'm going to step my left leg back, and you can do this with me. So remember that railroad track alignment. So step the left foot out to a little bit to the left side of the mat if it's not already. And we're going to have our hips again facing the side, mostly torso facing the side. And remember that knee. So as I begin to move in and out of Warrior 2, we're going to come from standing, straight front leg, to bending that front leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee over ankle. So we'll just do that a couple of times without even the arm, because I want you to make sure that you're doing this safely.
And now we're gonna do this, we're gonna add the arms. Inhaling, both arms overhead. And then exhale, bending that knee, remember knee over the ankle, arms parallel to the floor, palms facing towards the floor. Inhale, one more time, lifting up. And exhale again. Checking that alignment with the knee. 2 more times. And we do this so that our body gets used to the movement, so that we can come in and out of the poses in correct alignment. And this time we're going to hold for a couple breaths. So inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, knee over ankle, and we'll just take a couple breaths here. Gaze over the front fingertips. Sometimes you can inch your foot forward a little bit more just to go a little bit deeper once you've warmed up your body. And then inhale, straightening up. And then bringing your arms to the side. And then walk your feet together. And we'll do the other side. So I'm just going to face the other direction. And this time step my right foot back. So we'll just do that same sequence on the other side. Again, feet are sitting bone width apart. You can start with your hands on your hips as you step that right foot back, making sure you've got that railroad track alignment. So feel free to move that right foot a little bit more towards the edge of your mat if you need to. Again, this is going to be warrior 2. So that means left knee is going to be, when we bend in, is going to be directly over the ankle. Knee is going to be pointing in the same direction as the toes. Hips are not facing towards the front of your mat. They're facing more towards the side. And your back foot is going to be at a slight angle so that you're not torquing it off to the side. You have it more in line with the knee. So we'll just try this again a couple of times with our hands on our hips. Inhaling here, exhale, bending that knee, making sure it's aligned over that ankle. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, practicing going in. And as you can see, like the first time I went in, my knee was actually a little bit off center. So it's important to pay attention to those things. And then one more time, practicing straightening, inhale, and then exhale, lower. And then coming back to start, we'll add the arms in. Inhale, arms overhead, arms fingertips towards the ceiling, spine straight. Exhale, bending the knee, arms parallel to the floor, palms towards the floor. Inhaling, straightening the leg, lifting up. And then exhale, rebending that knee, checking that alignment. We'll do 3 more times. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Oops. Inhale. And exhale. And then this time, inhale, lift up. And then this time when we exhale, we're going to hold. So we'll do it for a few breaths. If you can deepen that front bend of the leg or slide that back foot back to lengthen so you can get a little bit deeper into it, making sure that you still keep that alignment, the correct alignment. And then inhale, lifting back up, bringing your arms back down. And we're going to come to stand. We're going to now practice balancing pose, tree pose. I'll give you instructions on how to do that. But also, so what I usually or I try to remember in class, is that if you've got a block or something to set your foot on, when we're balancing on our left foot, you can bring your toes, the ball of the foot to the block, and the heel there to the calf, side of the shin, and then you can practice trying to lift your foot off. So if you want to practice with a balance, or if one side's a little tougher to balance with, you can always use that. I also will welcome that if you need to go to a wall, you can go to a wall and you can practice your tree, and then you can release a hand by the wall, but it's there to support you if you need to. So again, all those options. So I'm going to have you start on your left foot. So putting your weight into your left foot, and then putting the right toes to the ground, sole of the foot against the ankle, knee out to the side, keeping your hands on your hips. Again, you can use the block if you want to. I'm going to try not to use it right now. And then option to take either that sole of the foot to the side of the shin, the calf, or if it's available to you, you can try to bring it up to the thigh. And then you can stay there, continuing to breathe. If you fall out, just slowly come back in. And if you want to take your hands in front in prayer pose, or even extend the arms overhead, feel free to do that. Whatever works for you tonight. And then we're going to slowly come back out, or quickly. And then shake your legs off. And you might want to try a different variation on the side. Sometimes you find out that one side's easier to balance than another. So we'll try on the other side. So this time shifting weight into your right foot, or whichever, the opposite of what you did last time. We'll start with our hands on our hips. And then either taking the sole of the foot to the toes towards the floor, sole of the foot against the shin, or maybe taking it to the thigh. You're going to stay on the shin for this one. And then either staying there or trying one of the other arm variations. Wherever you are, spine is long, natural curvature to the spine, but the spine is long. And if you fall out, come back in. Tailbone, suggestion of it reaching towards the floor. And then slowly releasing the arms and the legs. And then shaking the legs out. And so now, I'm going to check out what I have. We're going to go onto the floor for a low lunge. So again, adjust your cameras if you need to, as I'm finding out. I'm going to, if you have blocks, they might come in handy at this point or something. We're going to come onto what we call a low lunge. So that front knee is directly over the ankle, just like Warrior 2. Knee pointing in the same direction as the toes, so not going in or out. And then we're not having the back, we're not having 90-degree angles here. We're going to try to move that left knee back. And so if you need to roll, if it's uncomfortable, you need to put a blanket or roll up your mat to help soften that, feel free to do that. But what we want to do is so that we can kind of move our hips forward and down. And if you can stay with a long back and have your hands on blocks. We're just going to take a couple breaths and we're going to slowly move up. So you can start from the bottom and then you can bring your hands onto your thigh right before the knee. And then I'm going to give you an option if you want to do a slight twist. You can begin to twist
towards your right. Trying to keep that spine long as you twist, and you can gaze behind you. Again, that's just an option. Slowly coming back. And then we're going to switch sides. Again, the first thing that we're going to try to keep, pay attention to alignment is knees over the ankle, knees in line with the, pointing the same direction as the toes, sliding that right knee and shin back so that you've got this angle here. Hard to show this on the thing, yeah, the angle. And so then we can bring our hands to our hips and then just kind of sink into it. So sink those hips down and forward a little. We've got a curve to the lower back, a natural curve. And taking it at whatever variation works for you right now. Hands on blocks. And then we're gonna continue to try to move up, making sure that we're slowly rising up so we've got that curve to the back, but it's straight. It's not scrunched up. And then if you want to begin twisting to the left, keeping that spine long as you slowly twist to the left. And maybe moving the other hand behind you. Gaze over the back shoulder. And exhale, coming back, untwisting, then coming back up. And we're going to come to sit, and we're going to do some, a couple of, a forward fold. And if you have a strap or a belt or something, you can use that, but you don't have to. I'll guide you either way. I'm going to take my left leg, I'm going to keep my left leg straight, and then I'm going to bend that right leg so the right foot is on the thigh, heel in towards the groin, and remove the flesh from the sits bone so you can ground that seat so that left leg is straight, the foot is flexed. And if you have a strap, you can always place it across the heel of the foot. And if not, it doesn't matter, you'll be fine. So I'll just do it without it. So twist your torso so it's directly over that straight left leg. Inhaling here. And then just begin to walk your hands down. As you begin to lower that torso down. You want to keep that spine long. Sometimes it's easier if you have a belt, then it's easier for you to lower a little bit deeper, but that's not important. The important thing is to keep that, you don't want to round the back, you want to keep it long and the spine straight. And then slowly walking back, your hands back up as you lift. And we'll try the other side. So this time your right leg is straight. Bend that left leg in. Ground that seat. And then twist your torso so it's directly over that straight right leg. Inhale, lengthening in the spine. And then exhale, begin to walk your hands down as you fold. And slowly walking your hands back up. And this time, taking the soles of the feet together, we call this Baddha Konasana or cowbird's pose or butterfly pose. Knees are bent, soles of the feet together, so you're kind of making a diamond shape with your legs. And then grabbing onto the balls of the feet, outer edges or the inner edges of the feet, balls of the feet, and open the feet kind of like a book. Spine is long, inhale, lengthening, and then exhale, lowering. And so you're not really trying to force those knees and thighs to the ground. They're either going to go there or not, depending on your own body. And inhale, lifting up. And then we're going to lie on our back and we're going to do what we call windshield wipers, which is a really nice twist. So lying on your back and bending the knees and bring the feet mat width apart. And you can bring your arms out to the side or make goal posts with your arms, doesn't matter. And we're gonna, I'll show this if you need to see it with your camera. Inhaling as knees and gaze are towards the ceiling. Keep the feet wide on the mat where they are. Exhale, lowering just the knees to the left, gaze to the right. Then inhale, bring gaze and knees to the ceiling. Keeping feet wide on the mat where they are. Exhale, lowering just the knees to the right, gaze to the left. And just continue this movement with your own breath. Every time you inhale, knees and gaze to the ceiling. And every time you exhale, lower knees to one side and gaze to the opposite side. So this is a really nice release for the lower back. Do one more round to both sides. Then when you come back to center, you can loosely hug your knees into your chest and then just make little circles with your lower back. So massaging the lower spine. And then we're gonna come into final relaxation that I'll guide you through. So lying on your back, if you need to put socks on or jacket on, feel free to do that. And then you can either come into traditional Savasana, or if it's comfortable and you like to do Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet together, knees out to the side, feel free to do that. Otherwise, legs are extended long, then the legs and knees fall out to the side. Then the arms fall out to the side, palms of the hands towards the ceiling. Closing your eyes. And then we'll take the next couple of minutes to go into Shavasana, allowing all the goodness that was done in the last hour to settle into your body. We'll slowly come out of Shavasana. Begin to bring minor movements to your fingers, your toes. Movement into your wrists, your ankles. If it feels good, moving head side to side. And if it's available to you, reaching your arms overhead, reaching arms and fingertips towards the back of the room, toes towards the front. One long stretch. Hugging knees into chest, roll onto one side. Pausing there. Pushing your hands into the floor to help push your torso up. Coming up to sit. I want to thank you all for coming and practicing yoga with me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening, rest of the week, and I hope to see you next week. Namaste.